staying with us at STL TV Live. I'm now joined by Angie Ashell of RetailSmarter. Angie, welcome to STL TV. So you've got a really interesting business right here in St. Louis helping national companies target national retailers. But let's talk a little bit about how you got to this place of starting your business 7 years ago. What was your background?
Well, my background started out in sales with some of the large companies here in town, Purina, and then I moved away for a little while and worked with Pepsi and came back to Energizer Battery. And I worked in sales, managing top customers like Target and Kmart and Walmart, and then moved into brand management. And then actually my boss and I decided to branch out and form our own firm 7 years ago.
So you saw an opportunity to bring the skills and things that you were learning about these national retailers to smaller businesses. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I do. You know, it was at a point where my children were in preschool, and it was a good opportunity to kind of opt out of those corporate hours and use my skills kind of helping the underdog, the smaller brands succeed at the large retailers, and thought that would be a lot of fun, and it has been.
Yeah, so how is it different for small companies with not as much established national presence to break into the national retail chain? Is it similar? Do they go through similar steps as some of the big products, big brands?
Yeah, you definitely go through some of the same similar steps, just on a smaller scale. We like to tell retailers that we do everything that a national brand would do, we just do less of it. So we have to hit all the same must-haves for marketing to make it work. We just do it with a smaller budget.
So a new product, a new brand that's never been in a Target or a Walgreens or a CVS, for example, how do you start? Because these big companies that you work for obviously had an established presence in these stores. So if you've never made a sales call on a Walmart or a Target, where do you start? Is that where you come in?
It is. We start with what we call pre-market due diligence. And that is making sure that a product is as innovative and as needed in the market as the entrepreneur thinks it is. So you really have to start with something that is an unmet consumer need that none of the big companies are providing.
So just backing up for 1 second, don't mean to cut you off, but how often do the entrepreneurs think that they've got the product and you say, no, actually there's not as much of a need as you might think? Does it happen?
It does happen. I would say that we take on maybe 30% of the companies that we actually talk to.
Okay.
Because we just decide it's just not innovative enough to make it.
Okay, so what are some of the steps? And I think we've got a visual that talks a little bit about steps that companies need to take. So tell us about what this means.
Well, this kind of describes our process. First is very collaborative, built around teamwork with the clients and our team, studying the market, finding out where the product fits, and then laser focusing in on the right consumer target, because when your advertising dollars are limited, you have to make sure you're speaking to just the right group of people. And then we like to see the sales go up, and that's the final chart there.
Okay, so when you're working with a new client and you've decided they're one of the 30% that you say, yeah, we'll work with you, we think you have a bona fide opportunity here, what is one of the first things that you see? You know, I know you've talked about packaging as being really important. Do you find that typically package graphics or packaging in general doesn't meet what the national retailer is looking for?
A lot of times that's the case. The package might be impractical for the shelf, too large, too long. It doesn't have a hanging peg that a retailer needs to put it in the shelf set the way they have it in the store. And when you don't have a lot of market advertising dollars, packaging is your #1 marketing vehicle. So you need it to very succinctly tell the shopper, hey, I'm over here, and why you should buy this product.
Okay, great. So we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, let's talk about advertising and how the small companies can tackle that one, because that's a biggie. So stay tuned. We'll be back with Angie Ashell of RetailSmarter after this quick break.